Hi guys, it's Amy from Little Farm Quilts. Just checking some settings down here. I'm doing different lighting today, so you guys will have to let me know if it's worse, better. I have overhead LED lighting down here for when I craft and sew and do things because my eyesight needs it, but I do feel like on the videos it's a harsh lighting. I'm hoping this is better. Today is Saturday, April 18th. I'm not sure why. I just had to look at the date because I worked yesterday. So I kind of know the date. But anyway. And oh my gosh. I feel like I say this every time, but I had kind of a rough day, last couple days at work. And I don't think it's work. I think that the shelter at home, stay at home order, or whatever you want to call it, is starting to get to me just a tad. I know it's starting to get to my husband as well. Let me make sure my mic is all the way up. Yep. And I live in upstate New York. For those of you that follow me probably know that already. Our stay-at-home order was just extended through May 15th. And I think that that's what made the last couple days worse for me, if that makes sense. I think the thought of doing this for another month, although not entirely unexpected, it's a little bit of a downer, I think. Yeah. So I've been coming on more often. I did a Stitch With Me the other night, a live on YouTube, a live Stitch With Me, which was fun, super fun. The only thing that would have made that better was doing it as a Zoom meeting so that people could see each other, and that I will most likely do this week. I'm thinking I should make these notes while I'm talking about them, because then I get off the video and I forget what I said, so I have to rewatch my own video, which is fine, except who wants to watch themselves that often? I mean, come on. Seriously, I don't. I am thinking Thursdays will be a Zoom meetup, 7 p.m. And if you're interested, you're going to need to contact me and give me your email address, and I will email you a invite to the Zoom meeting, or I will share it in one of my social media posts, the link. I'd rather kind of know who I'm inviting, so if you could just get in touch with me. I know my mom's probably in. I know that one or both of my sisters would probably join just to be part, and I know that my friend Deb would join. I think I have a couple of followers that were on live with me on Thursday night that I'm sure would join. So I think we're going to plan that for Thursday at 7, no matter how many people are here. Last time I didn't do it because there was only one person that reached out to me. But I think we start small and we grow from there. And since for me, this is going to go on for another 4 weeks, I think we will make that a regular over the next 4 weeks anyway, and then if it works into something local, that's fine too. But yeah, crazy times, and I'm sorry, I think my hair is a hot mess, but anyway, I had it all down, but when I start working on things, it all goes up. It's just the way it is. And by the time I'm done with this video, it'll be going in a ponytail. But that's it. So good morning. Now that you've just heard me ramble for 4.5 minutes. Good morning. Welcome to Saturday. I'm looking forward to today. I set up a virtual coffee date with my BFF. We used to go to coffee pretty regularly, then life got a bit crazy for both of us, so we haven't really seen each other, I don't think, in several months, even though we live local. But you know, that stuff happens. You've got grown kids, you've got stuff going on. We just haven't been able to see each other. And then the quarantine thing went into effect, and that made it even worse. So I'm excited that this afternoon I get to have a virtual coffee date with my BFF, and I get to see her, or one of my BFFs, I should say. I will be FFOing some cross stitch. So today I counted up, I have I think 8 or 9 finished cross stitches down here in my studio, and I just FFO'd one, which I'm going to show you now during this video. The rest I'm hoping to finish today, and I will show you at some future YouTube, whether it's recorded or live. So whenever I need content, they'll go in and I'll show you. See my nice little Mrs. cup? We have a Mr. and a Mrs. cup. Story, youngest daughter, gave us a set of these for our anniversary, I think a couple years ago. I broke mine, I dropped it getting it out of the cabinet, and I found another one and replaced it. Because it says in here, I found the one my heart loves, on the inside of the rim here. And I have. So anyway, my husband and I are going through coffee like it's going out of style. I think it's because we're both home. We're both working from home a lot. He's working from home 100% of the time. I'm working from home 3 to 4 out of 5 days. So I think that we normally would be drinking coffee at work. I don't know that I ever drank. We don't have like a coffee thing at work, so I don't know that I ever drank a ton of coffee at work. I knew I drank 2 cups at home, and I used to take a travel mug with me, and that's what I would have for the day. I think because it's been dreary here, it's been snowing on and off all week long, which we're all tired of. I think we're drinking more coffee just because it's cold and it's wet, and I don't know, that's what people do, I guess, when, anyway. We're going through coffee like it's nuts. I'm crafting like it's nuts. I did not get anything done yesterday. I attempted a practice punch needle yesterday during my lunch, and I don't know, I was at the office yesterday. I got a lot of phone calls, a lot of things happening during my lunch, so I don't know if it's because I was distracted or because I'm doing something wrong, but the punch needle thing did not work out for me yesterday. That does not mean I'm giving up on it. I have, if you were with me on live, you saw this. I bought a punch needle pattern from Teresa Kogut, which I have recently found in the last few months, and absolutely love her stuff. I don't want to do this one until I've mastered the technique on a practice one. But yes, I'm very much looking forward to this. Yep. But that did not work out for me yesterday. I failed miserably. I did work on, I have a whip here somewhere. My area is such a mess down here. This is the other thing. As you can see, my quilt's still on the long arm too. So that's one of the things I'd like to finish this weekend. I worked on this, which, let me find the cover sheet. This is the one I've been working on the whole time in the effort to get it done before Maynia, which is just, what, 2 weeks away? Where's my phone? I need to look. I think it's 2 weeks away. May 1st is 2 weeks from yesterday, I believe. So the pressure's on. Yep, 2 weeks from yesterday is May 1st. We're going to talk more about Maynia in a minute because I have landed on what I'm going to do, and I'm sticking to it. I'm starting all the things, people. Stay tuned. Last year I did daily videos. I'm not sure if I will this year or if I will, I don't know. That I still have to decide on, so stay tuned. Anyway, I've been working on Little House Needleworks 4 seasons. See, I think that lighting is better for you guys to see what I'm working on. Let's see if it, yeah, see? I'm not sure. You guys will have to let me know on your end what the lighting looks like. I might rewatch this before I post it. I don't know. But I won't record it again, so it's going up as is. So, anyway. And this is how far I got. Sorry for all the wrinkles. It's been crammed in a bag. So you see, I've got a lot of that third house area done. I have to little fill in on the white, a little spot in the house and the banner at the bottom, and then I'm on to the fourth and final season. So I will have a fourth and final season here and another bucket of topiary on the other side. This I'm doing on, it looks like 14 count tea coffee dyed Ada that I did myself. This was a Maynia start from Maynia 2019, and I'll be happy to have it finished. I think it will, I think it's going to end up fitting, and then, no, it's a little, it might be a little too long for an 8x10, I don't know. It might fit in a regular 8x10 frame. I think it will. Or maybe a 5x7. No, that's 8 inches right there. I don't know. We'll see. I am on a mission to use up things I have here in the house to finish cross stitches. So, because I can't shop, and it's probably a good thing. We have a lot of things in storage that we're not using anymore. Our tastes have changed. So it would be nice to resurface some of those things and reuse them to finish cross stitches, because Lord knows I'm spending money in other ways. So I'm almost done with that. I am actually hoping, I said this last weekend, I'm really hoping to have it done this weekend at some point. But I don't know. I'm going to send a message to my husband and ask him if he can please bring me down my knitting, because I forgot it again. And just bear with me. I'm a hot mess today. We'll see if he brings that down. I also am knitting, teaching myself how to knit, and I have bought some nice yarn from Forbidden Fiber Co., which I love her stuff. It's absolutely nuts. And I think I may have posted a picture of what I got from her. I may not have. I have shown you the other yarns that I have. Why is it I get a video and all of a sudden my nose itches? Oh, here he comes. He got my text. Oh, please. He's a good man. Thanks, babe. Thank you. I started, so I balled it because I put it in a bowl. I put it in one of these old, what do you call it? They're old milk glass bowls. Vintage. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. And I balled the yarn. It's much prettier when it comes, because it's in this long, you know how they come, long and twisted. It's beautiful. And forget the name of the pattern. It's an infinity scarf pattern. If you're interested, let me know, and I will let you know what pattern it is. And that's my knitting so far. It's got a nice little thing down the middle, an eyelet detail, and it's kind of a V-shaped. And don't look at my V's because they're not very nice. But we've got this yarn, and then in there, I'm going to make this super long, and I had shown you these yarns before. I'm going to stripe with these yarns, because guess what? They match. There are these colors all through this ball of yarn, so. And I just ordered more yarn last night from Forbidden Fiber Co. So that's my new thing. But I've got all this time at home, and I really do get bored doing the same stuff all the time. So I pick up that knitting, and I just do, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 rows at a time when we're watching a movie, because I don't have to think about it as much. And it works. So there you go. Coffee's a wonderful thing. So I thought what I would spend most of the time doing today is going through my Maynia Plans. I have the X-Stitch app on my phone. If you do not have the X-Stitch app, you should think about getting it. I think it was $2.99. I think it was $2.99, and I'm keeping track of my kitted projects, how many finishes I've had this year. And by the way, I've had 10 finishes this year. That's pretty good. I feel like I'm not stitching a lot. I feel like I should count stitches because I feel like I'm not making any progress. And if I had a stitch count that I completed every day, I would feel more like I'm making progress. However, I don't even know where to start with that, and I don't have the patience to sit there and count every square I stitched and do that. So I honestly don't know that I would ever stick to that. Unless you just count it by the grids of 10, but if you stitch count, chime in here. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's like the whole, there's lots of things I don't know. Like I'm part of, I think, magical stitches, and I very rarely am able to get on, and when I do, I don't understand. I guess my brain doesn't work that way. I don't understand what they're doing and how to follow along and do all that. Maybe I will this year. Maybe that'll be my mission. Counting stitches and stitch challenges. That'll be my thing. Anyway, I've got the X stitch app. See how I go off there? I've had 10 finishes this year. I have 10 whips right now, which I'm hoping to get to 9 if I finish 4 seasons. And right now I have, I will say that in those whips, I am counting my stitch along. So, the Bloomtopia stitch along that I'm doing with Fat Quarter Shop, that I'm calling a whip. And that will be worked on whenever the releases come out. So it'll be a start plus, on the day that those releases come out, it'll be a new start plus what I have to stitch on Bloomtopia. I have a Christmas Advent calendar that is going to take me a long time to finish. I have Jack Frost Tree Farm started, which is going to take me a long time to stitch. And I have Snow Village, which is a subscription, so those will keep coming in. Those are long-term projects, and I am counting them as my whips. So those are 4 projects I just named off that really are not traditional whips. They are long-term whips, they are subscriptions, they are things that will come in over time. So yeah. But I'm counting them because I'm going to dedicate one day of Maynia to work on each of those. And then it's not going to be the only thing I stitch on that day. I will stitch on whatever I feel like. Do you know what I mean? I have 3 or 4 different stitchy times during the day. I'll work on, maybe I'll have a certain one that I work on for lunch. Maybe my start's only going to be in the morning. That stuff I'll work out every day as I feel like it. Maybe I'll pick up one and start it and use that during my stitchy time all day long. That part really depends on how I feel that day. However, what I've decided to do for Maynia, and I've said this before, well, I've said that I was thinking about doing it this way. I'm taking my whips plus my starts will equal 31. So as it stands right now, I will have 21 new starts for the month of May. And I think that's awesome. I had watched Lindy Stitches, who I absolutely love, and I'm kind of fangirling a little bit because she liked one of my posts on Instagram. So I really like Lindy. She's new to me. I've just figured out stuff. I bought her Mary Mary Needleworker pattern. I may buy another one. I just like her a lot, and anyway, where was I going with that? She's doing Stitch Sania. So she is having a new start every weekend in May. 4 new starts in May. And I thought about doing that because I have 10 whips, and last year I had like 31 starts and it totally overwhelmed me. But last year I was new back into cross stitching, so I think it's going to be fun for me this year, and I think I may enjoy doing the daily videos more this year and showing what I've started and talking about Maynia and how it's going, because this year is different, right? We're in a pandemic. The first part of Maynia for me will be in quarantine because we're extended right past Mother's Day. So the first 15 days of May will be under the pandemic. So I don't know, I think we should have some fun with it. But I decided I couldn't do Steph's way because I can't only start 4 of the things. I have way too many things that I would like to stitch on, and I like having options. So, you know, and here I have now rambled for 20 minutes. Today's a rambling kind of day. So let's go through my whips that I have so far. Let me see if I can get these 2 out of the way. So I got this book of patterns. These are by Teresa Kogut. I am doing the 2 that are on the cover. There are plenty more in here. And the one with the red house is called Stairway to You, EWE. And the one with the green trees is called Tiny Garden. I think it's Tiny Garden. Hold on. Let me double check. I can't show you inside because those are the charts. Stairway to You, I got that one right. 1823 Teeny Garden. And I have those kitted up and ready to go. And yes, I still have some of them in Ziploc bags. I don't have enough project bags yet. Okay? So let's get that one out of the way. Because I made copies, working copies of the patterns, and they're in here. It's because it's 2 patterns out of 1 book. Make sense? Yeah. So I got those 2. The next one that I have kitted is by Barbara Anna Designs. And it's a free pattern, by the way. Just Google it. You'll find it. It's not hard. It's called The Key. And I actually, this is the one that I dyed my own fabric for. I took 16, no, I think this is 18 count Aida. And I dyed it. That looks really bright in this lighting. It is not that bright. I decided to not take it. I don't know if this will, that may be true. Hold it behind my head. I was talking, if you remember right, I was talking about deciding whether I wanted to tea dye that fabric to knock it down a bit. I decided not to. I tend to tea dye everything to knock it down a bit, and I think this one I'm just going to leave bright blue. There is another one in here that's another free one from Barbara Anna that I will show you that I have kitted up to go. And I did some of the free patterns for a couple reasons. So, one, I liked them. I like them. 2, you know, Matt and I are truly blessed in that we are both still working full-time. We are not struggling financially through this pandemic. A matter of fact, it's probably less hit to our wallets because I'm not able to go to Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, all of those things. So, but I recognize, and, you know, Matt and I were here once in our lifetime, you know, where we were struggling for years. We empathize with people that are struggling, whether you're on furlough, don't have a job right now, are struggling financially. There are a ton of free resources. Many, many, many of the designers have put out free patterns during the pandemic, even if they weren't before. And I have to tell you, most designers had free ones on their website before that. But I think they've really stepped up their game and given us some really awesome looking patterns during the pandemic. So go look. You can get Aida at Walmart, cheap. You can stitch everything in all DMC, which is cheap. You know, so don't let price get past you, and don't be overwhelmed by what everybody else is showing you. Some of us have resources to do whatever it is we want to do. Others do not. And just make this look like what you need it to look like right now. Because down the road, you'll look back and you'll be amazed at how far you've come, that you pushed yourself to do what you needed to do through this pandemic. And, you know, just do it. There's tons of free patterns out here. I have several in my Maynia. So there's my soapbox for today. The other one I have, I showed you guys, I kitted up Rovaris, Sweet Land of Liberty. and I like the truck. I'm not doing it on the called for fabric. I'm doing it on 14 count Venetian stone Ada by Witch Out. I do have the called for colors in here, and there are charms in here to stitch on after I'm done. But I think I'm probably going to follow the Real Housewives stitching thing where we do Stars and Stripes Saturday, Santa Sunday, Merry Monday, things like that. So we'll talk more about that as we get closer to May 1st. This next one is, as you know, this I've been dying to start. This is Huckleberry Farm by the Blue Flower. I am stitching it in the DMC because if you followed me on Instagram, I recently got a DMC de-stash haul from somebody, and I got over 580 skeins of DMC floss that I'm still trying to organize completely, but I was able to pull all the colors for this in DMC, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm using what I have. I do not have fabric in here yet. I did pick a fabric. Oh, I put it away in my bin. I picked a 28 count Monaco that I had hand dyed. I wanted the shale dyeing that it calls for. I go online to find, it says 36 count shale linen. I picture this plus, and of course I can't find it because this was a market release and everybody has gone to get the fabric. But I was able to find 16 count Ada in that shale colorway. So I have ordered that, and it's on its way in a big enough piece for this project, and that will go in here as soon as it's here. This is a must. All of these that I'm showing you today are already slated to be started during Maynia. And I think I have, how many do I have kitted? I have 2 slots right now open, 3 if I finish that. 4 seasons one. So there you go. And I think I have 2 of those slots already taken. And I actually think all of them are taken because I want to do Kringle and Wool by, who did that one? I don't know, you guys probably know. I really love that one. Okay, staff from Lindy Stitches. This is Mary Mary Needleworker. I got the PDF because of course I get it now. I'm stitching this on a mystery linen that I got last year when I got back into cross stitching, and last year I was very frustrated stitching on it. This year I'm trying it. I'm stitching it mostly in DMC. However, I have ordered her dress. Is in Weeks Dye Works Seafoam is what's called for, and I've ordered that and it's on its way. I do think with that big splotch of color, I want to use the Weeks and get the variegation in it. I think that the others don't really, you know, I'm trying to use fancy, if I have to buy fancy floss, I'm trying to use either the ones I have or using it where it makes the biggest impact, and I think in that dress it will. So that's Mary Mary Needleworker. And this is my oven mitts and pie crust bag that I recently made. If you guys didn't see, it's a Lori Holt quilt block, and I had it hanging here forever, and I wasn't going to get back to that quilt in a long time, so I decided I would remake the block if I got back to the quilt and make the project bag. This is another project bag I made. This has, I can tell by the charm, see the charm? This has Prim Village by Lori Holt. I'm stitching this in the DMCs as well. And I'm not doing the whole thing. So I'm either doing, I haven't decided yet, I'm either doing a block of 4 houses or I'm doing a row of 4 houses. I guess I'll have to decide before I start this. And I'm stitching this in the DMC, like I said. I'm also stitching this. This is 25 count. It's an even weave. It's left over from the Bloomtopia. And I think it'll look very nice on that. I pull out all these DMCs. They're all the bright colors. And I think that they will all pop very nicely on that. So So that's that. And I'm sorry, I have to take a minute to put everything away because I have everything very organized right now, and I don't want to have to reorganize it again. My hair is a hot mess, people. I need a haircut. Even if I grow it long, I mean, it needs to be trimmed up a little bit. It's kind of a mess. This is With Thy Needle and Thread, Bittersweet and Broomsticks. Can you guys see it? Oh, let me hold it up right side up. Would be good. This one. I don't typically stitch Halloween, but I have bought like 5 Halloween patterns to kind of work into my rotation. I do have this kitted. I made my own conversion because I didn't have the called for, and I do have enough of the other stuff to make my own conversion that's close. I took a piece of 36 count Edinburgh linen left over from my cardinal points. I tea-dyed it. Let me pull these out. Let me see if I can give you an accurate representation. And I don't think I pulled all the colors yet, but I've got enough, definitely enough to get me started. These are my conversion. Let's see if I can. And I think that will work very nicely. And if it doesn't, I'll just scrap it and restart it with something else. I don't have a project bag for this yet, so right now everything is shoved in this teeny tiny bag. I may make more project bags this weekend, I may not. It depends on how much stuff I get done. I know Matt's kind of bored too, so I don't know. I'm making a nice dinner tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway. This next one is the other free one from Barbara Anna Designs. It is called Light, and I just like these. I don't know why, because they're not really my style. But I think they would be fun to stitch. This one and the other one is Goose in a Dress, I think. This is Fox in a Dress. This is a sew along with Michelle G from Bendy Stitchy right now. Or stitch along. I sew along, stitch along. I'm a quilter, so you know it is what it is. But I like it. I used some Venetian stone 14 count witch out. This I had left over from my bee finish that I'm going to show you here shortly. And I pulled almost all the colors. I'm missing like 2, but I think they've come in 5 and 9. They're probably right here. Yep. Huh. They're right here. I'm betting money that they're right here because I showed on my live the other night, I just got some stuff in. Yep, there's 5 right there. From 1, 2, 3 Stitch. What was I missing? 5, 9, and 38, 61. Sorry, I'm sitting right here. I might as well just put them all together. 38, 61. There it is. Yeah, I'll finish this after because it's going to take a little longer than I thought. But I did order all these for this particular stitch, so it's nice to have them all here. I don't know, I still think I'm missing one, but you know, hey, these are them. So I'm going to shove them right in here with everything else. But I think these colors on this Venetian stone, I can't even tell. What a hot mess I am today, people. So these are the ones that I had. These are the ones I got. I think that'll look nice. She will be fun to stitch. For sure. I think I have to move faster. I don't want you guys on here for like an hour and a half. Plus those videos get a little hard to upload. They take longer. Next one is Tired Trio from Plug Street Samplers. Can you guys see that? That is the sloths. I'm stitching it on 28 count tea coffee dyed Monaco with the called fors. And I've got these on a card because, like I said, when I kit, I do not kit entire flosses generally. Sometimes you'll see me throw just an entire floss in there just so it's in there. But I'll put strings of floss. I'm not going to finish this thing during Maynia. I have time to order flosses if I need them. But yeah, it's going to be that. That's that. Stack's getting down there. This one is one of the bags I made last weekend that I showed you guys. This is Queen Bee Flower Farm by Hands On Design. This is a collaboration between Hands On Design and Priscilla Blaine. I like this because I'm a beekeeper, of course. I like the chalkboard ones. I have plenty of them. I've decided this year is the year for this one. I'm doing it in the called for on chalkboard black Ada. So for those of you that have never seen, I only have two colors in here, the white and the yellow, because that's all I need to start. And for those of you that haven't seen the chalkboard black Ada, it's just not as black. Like, that's the obvious. It's just not as black. I have no issue stitching on this chalkboard Ada. I've been doing it with the jar series. I have no issue. I have plenty of issues stitching on some other things, but I have no issues with that. So that's that. Next one, this must be my Hands On Design thing. This is a market release from Hands On Design this year. This is called Memorial Day. Let's see if I can get the glare. There you go. Love this one. Love it. Have been fighting starting it. I've been trying not to start all the things. I'm doing the called for DMC on a plain, looks like 18 count white Ada. There's nothing wrong with Ada, and this is a Walmart piece of Ada because I have it here from when I first started. So nothing wrong with Ada. I stitch on all sorts of things. Just recently gotten into linen. It takes me longer to stitch on linen, so Ada is much faster for me, but nothing wrong with Ada, people. Nothing wrong with Ada. I've seen in some of the comments and some of the chat things that people feel a little inferior, I think, for not stitching on anything but Ada. I just think there's nothing wrong with Ada. The stitching looks awesome. You'll see it when I show you your FFO. It doesn't matter. Just stitch what you like to stitch on. I do like the look of some of these patterns on linen. I like the idea of stitching on linen and the look of it. But I also like my Ada pieces. So, I don't know. I'm pretty eclectic. This is Plum Street Samplers Bovinia. Saw Chelsea stitching this on Stitching with the Housewives, and I loved it, so I bought it. It's been sitting in my stash. I pulled it for Maynia this year. It made the short list. This is also going on a piece of 14 count Venetia Stone Ada from Witch Out that was left over from, I actually think it came in my club. I'm part of the Ada club at Fat Quarter Shop, and I used part of it for my my bees one that I'm going to show you in a second from Heart and Hand. And the rest I've been piecing. You've seen it. This is like the third project I have it in with the called for colors. I'm missing a couple here, but it'll be fine. Got enough to start with. That's all you need. I have done a fair bit of ordering as of late, I will admit. Trying to get ready for Maynia. Alright. This is Heart and Hand. It is Winter Whirligig. I have done the spring, summer, fall, and this is the winter one. I have not done this yet. I've had it, have not done it. I'm doing this on a small piece of 14 count tea-dyed Ada. That's actually showing a lot lighter than it is. There you go, that's probably better. And I'm doing it with my substitutions. Let's see if I can switch this over. My substitutions. Just trying to convert to what I have. I have a lot of classic colorworks here. I have some Weeks dye works. I have no Gentle Arts here except for chalk. So a lot of these call for gentle art threads, which I don't have, and so I've substituted my own. I'm not going to show you the chart, but see, I write, I don't know if that's going to focus. There you go. I write on there what I'm subbing in, so that if you guys ever ask me, I can tell you. I do have requests sometimes for my sub-ins, but really not often. This one is Spring Has Sprung by Plum Street Samplers. I like this. See the snowman in the center? He's not going on here. I am not stitching a snowman on. I'll stitch the snowflakes that are on here. I am not stitching a snowman on a spring piece because honestly, when spring gets to upstate New York, I don't want to see a snowman. So I don't know what I will put there. Maybe another flower. I might do that. I might put, see the flowers on here? I might put another flower towards the bird. Maybe a bud. Figure out something. But I'm not putting that snowman on there. Just so you're aware. I'm doing this on a mystery piece of linen. It looks like it could be 32 count or 36 count. It's from Maynia last year that I decided not to stitch on. You can tell because there's masking tape on it. That's old school. So that, and I'm doing it mostly with the called for, I believe. Let me pile these up. Those are the colors, and I think that will look super. Those of you, if you weren't on my live and you didn't see it, I do have a new Kay's Creation lap frame that I absolutely enjoy the heck out of stitching on. I have one set of scroll rods. I'm trying to con my husband into making another set. I love stitching. I like putting the linen on that. My cardinal points is on there. It makes it just a much easier. I do two-handed stitch. It seems like go faster. I just like it. If you are interested in seeing my Kay's Creation frame, let me know. I will show it next time. Okay, we're almost there. 42 minutes. Not bad. My hair becomes worse as we go. This is called Every Heart. This is by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I just like the cows. This is another one, Chelsea, from Real Housewives of Stitching. And I loved it, so I bought it. And I really haven't done, let me try to smooth my hair down. Haven't done anything with it, so I pulled it out of my stash. This is tea-dyed Monaco, not baked. And I believe, did I put my own stuff on this? Nope, I'm doing call for threads. There you go. That's all the called for. So that'll work. I got it on tea-dyed 28 count Monaco. Should be a nice quick stitch. You guys tired of watching yet? Do you need a break? Need some coffee? Oh, my coffee's cold now because I'm in the basement, but it's okay. Did I tell you guys I moved my sewing room, well, a temporary sewing room upstairs into one of the spare bedrooms because A, it's warmer up there and it's been cold here, and B, because up there I get sunshine and down here I do not. So yeah, got stuff up there. I might make it a finishing. I have some of my cross stitch up there as well. So yeah, it's nice. When I guess it doesn't need to move unless people come to visit and need the room. So this came in this nice little bag. This is my Stitch Quarterly from Fat Quarter Shop. This I'm putting in my Maynia. This is Home. It is, I'm stitching it in the DMC that it came with on this white washboard 14 count Ada from Fabric Claire, which it came with. I believe, yep, patterns in here. It came with, oh, I got another floss. It came with a cute little ribbon that was around the whole package, and I may use that as some way to finish it, so I kept it. Use things up. Use what you have. It's fun. Okay, this was a Nashville release for Hands On Design. You can tell that Hands On Design, I just like her stuff. She uses a lot of the chalkboard kind of Adas and linens. I like it. I did I bring it down? Hold on. I chucked it in my bin before I came over. So this is Humble Honey, and obviously, right? And I think I'm going to order that pin mini, and I think I'm going to finish it about the way she finished it. I just like it. And it will go on my quilt rack shelf, I think. Humble Honey. I have it right now kitted with the called fors, drive the called fors, DMCs. Yep, and that's what it's, okay, that's what it's stitched in, is DMCs. I have all the called for DMCs. I have it kitted with a 14 count piece of chalkboard Ada, but this is what I ordered from 123 Stitch that came this week. This is 32 count. So the model was stitched on 32 count slate by Fabrics by Stephanie. This is 32 count charcoal Belfast linen. I have no idea the coding as far as who made this. And so I will need to, I don't know, need to think about that. Whether I want to keep it on this Ada piece or do it on the linen. Stitching on linen is a little more difficult for me, but I do like the look of it. It's not as fast though, I will say. Not for me. At least not right now. And I have a difficulty counting over on linen. So I showed it on my live stitch with me the other night. What I tend to do is what color I'm working on, I will pull it to the top and thread the other color that's next to it on a needle, stitch that, and then if I need that first color again, I'll go under, kind of weave it through the back so it doesn't show, and then pull it back up where I need to instead of counting over, because I tend to, my counting on linen is very rarely correct. I'm told it will get better over time and the more that I stitch on linen. So I'm toying with this versus the Ada. They both would work just fine. And we'll see. I'll leave the Ada in there for now. And we'll see what happens when I start it. See what I'm feeling that day. I think either way it's a quick stitch. It's only 65 by 46, so it's small. And you'll see that I do have a combination of smalls, mediums, and larges in here. Not everything is large. Not everything's going to take forever to finish. And the last one I have to show you that's kitted with, I decided I wanted to do a Quaker sampler, that I had not done one before, and I wanted to do one. So I bought one from Modern Folk Embroidery. It is called Kindness and Fortitude, a Quaker sampler. And it just struck me, mainly the words kindness and fortitude struck me because of the times that we're in. We need to be kind to each other, and we need to have the fortitude to do what's right. So it struck me in that way. And plus, it's a monochromatic stitch, which I've been wanting to do. So it kind of is a bucket list thing for me, a Quaker and a monochrome stitch. It's this one. Modern Folk Embroidery. Kindness and Fortitude. Isn't that awesome? And here's another one. I have this one in with, what did I, oh, so this is a piece of 18 count Ada that I dyed. And this is the mottled black and gray. And I'm stitching it in all 3865. And I think that will look super good. Nice monochromatic piece on a nice hand-dyed Ada. This is 18 count. My stitch thing is upstairs. I'm pretty sure this is 8. Yep. 18 count. And I'm excited to start that one too. I truly, truly love all the patterns that I've picked from Maynia. Why you would pick something that you didn't truly love, I don't know. I think some people, I did last year, pick things, not that everybody else does, I did. I picked a bunch last year that I didn't really, really love, and I ended up either de-kitting them, however you say that, unkitting them, putting them back in my stash, giving them away if I really didn't like them. And I still may do some of that because I do have patterns in my stash that I bought early on that really aren't my thing, and I'm not sure why I bought them. But I do have, so that leaves me, what did I tell you, 2 slots. If I get, yep, 2 slots. If I get 4 seasons done, that would give me 3 slots. So here we go. I showed this before. This is a contender. This is the Truckin' Along series by Priscilla Blaine, Chelsea Carter from Stitching with the Housewives. I am part of the club at Fat Quarter Shop, so that came. It's all kitted and ready to go. That is probably going into Maynia. So that'll leave me 2 slots. This is assuming that I get 4 seasons done, which I'm pretty sure I will. If I can master the punch needle thing, I would like this to go in my Maynia starts, but I don't think I'm going to have time to work on it that much between now and Maynia to figure it out, unless, well, I don't know. I'm home a lot. Who knows? But if I can figure out what I'm doing wrong with the punch needle, this may go into my Maynia just because I think it would be cool to have something different. I didn't pull Kringle and Wool, and it's driving me nuts. I think Kringle and Wool is done by Prairie Schooler, and I really like Kringle and Wool, so I think I am going to have to pull that and put it in the rotation. So that's 2 already out of 3. And then I have these. I've got to pick one of these. So I have the Halloween Sampler, which I'm leaning towards this one. This is by Cottage Garden. And I'm leaning towards this one because I like stitching letters, number 1. Number 2, I could easily kit this up out of stash. Really. Easily kit this up out of stash. Probably not with the called for colors because they're all Gentle Arts, but I could definitely do the DMCs and pick Fancy Floss from Classic Colorworks. I'm pretty sure I could figure something out. For this one, it says that. I've got Hocus Pocus Halloween. Maybe you guys should vote. Which is another kind of small. And it's cute. It's by Heart and Hand. Like I said, I typically don't, I don't really like Halloween per se. There's a long story why I don't like Halloween. It has nothing to do with anything you're probably thinking. It has everything to do with me with a memory association for Halloween. But these things are cute. So I would like to kind of get past all that and stitch some Halloween. Long story short, one of my kids was critically ill over Halloween one year. And I remember, I'm not going to get into too much detail because it'll get me upset even though it was a long time ago. I walked into the hospital to see her in a PICU unit. And kids were trick-or-treating in the lobby. So for me, it's not against Halloween. It's very much a memory association thing. Have struggled every year since with watching trick-or-treaters. It just brings that kind of thing back into my forefront of my mind. And honestly, this happened when she was 13. She's approaching 30, and she's good. But that memory association for me has been difficult. So when I say I don't like Halloween, please understand it's totally me. It has nothing to do with anything else. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. Not even my hatred of clowns. I do not like clowns. But it's purely a memory association for me. So I'm trying this year to embrace Halloween and Halloween stitching because I think it's cute and kind of just get past it. So this is one of them. I totally didn't plan on going there. See, you get what's real and whatever comes to my brain when I'm sitting here. And then I got the Jack-O-Lantern Junction Farm, which is the collaboration between Hands On Design and Brazil Blaine from the Stitching with the House Pipes. I have the others, so I have Sunflower Farm, I have lots. So I've got this one too, and you know I have the Queen Bee Flower Farm in my rotation for Maynia. So I don't know. I could have more starts if I took Bloomtopia out of my whip count. See, it's funny the games we play with ourselves, huh? I would like to have a ton of starts because I've been finishing things left and right, and so having a ton of starts would give me way more option of stuff to work on. I don't like monogamous stitching, so I like to flit around piece to piece. If I didn't count my subscription things like Snow Village and Bloomtopia, that would give me 2 more slots. I don't know. You could play this dangerous game forever, huh? Okay. So we're going to end all this jabbering now because we're almost at an hour. Holy cow. And I'm going to show you an FFO that I did this morning. I'm not sure that it's completely done yet, but I'm going to show you anyway. This is my, I don't think it's called Bee Garden. It's called something, Birds and the Bees or something. It's by Heart and Hand. It's kind of crooked. I'm still tweaking it. So yes, I know the cross stitch in the center is crooked, and I'm going to fix that. But it's got a nice ticking bow on top. It's got, I did this thing around the cross stitch with some antiqued fabric measuring tape from Lady Dot Creates. And I'll talk to you more about that there. But this is my first finish for today, and I have to tweak it, but that's what it's going to look like. My finishes are fairly simple. I took an old frame that had a print in it that we don't like and don't hang in our house anymore, and I covered the glass with fabric. It's actually leftover fabric from Out of This World Sew along with Pat Sloan, and I covered the glass with fabric, and then I did the technique around the edge of the cross stitch that was shown by Kathy Haberman in Hands On Design, mounted this on foam board, and it's now attached. So let me see if I can hold this straight. There you go. And this is almost ready to hang up in my house. I just have to tweak it a little bit. And I have several other finishes in process today, so I'm hoping to FFO some things. We are almost at an hour. How in the world did I do that? Thanks for sticking around with me. If you've been watching this whole time, oh, God love you. Stick around. We're going to keep going through this pandemic, and we're going to stay positive and talk about happy, crafty things. And if you watch me faithfully, thanks so much. I'm a hot mess sometimes, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you are new, welcome. And stick around, because everything's all real here. We're not faking a thing. Let me know below how the lighting is in this video, and I would be happy to adjust accordingly. I just felt like the other lighting washed me out and made me look as white as those quilt parts behind me. So I'm really not that pale. But guys, take care of yourself. Do something fun. Enjoy your stitchy time. And we'll see you next time.